never say, Irie News Network are the best.
Irie News Network, now stop play. Irie News Network, now stop play.
A straight reggae dancehall news we a give them.
People lucky in all over the world, every country and town. Irie keep the music blazing. Irie News Network, you see that? I eat that.
Welcome to Irie News Network. A special welcome to my returning listeners, and welcome also to those tuning in for the first time. Please watch the video to the end, and remember to like, share, and subscribe. Click on the notification bell so you can be notified when a new video has been released. Thank you. So today I'm going to weigh in on Vybz Kartel's interview with TMZ that he did recently, speaking about his time that he has been incarcerated, how it has affected him mentally. In fact, he says that he has developed post-traumatic disorder and he is raising awareness to mental illness, something that is uncommon to speak about in Jamaica. It's taboo. Jamaicans do not like to acknowledge mental illness as they see it as a sign of weakness. Also, I'm going to be talking about Lieutenant Stitchie, the fact that he is sick, here that he is in a coma, and his family has started a GoFundMe to help to offset some of his financial expenses as it relates to his illness. Dr. Love has weighed in on the matter, and he thinks that it's a sad state of affairs when artists who was as successful as Lieutenant Stitchie has reached a point in their life when they have to be seeking external assistance to offset medical expenses in their latter years. And he's saying that if their monies were otherwise spent carefully or invested, then these are things that should not have happened to them. And he lays a lot of the blame squarely at the feet of these managers. So without much ado, let us listen to the Vybz Kartel video, listen to what he has to say in his interview, and although there are entertainment aspects to it, listen for the informative parts because you will be able to learn something from what he is saying.
Stay completely away from the whole jail life, the whole jail scene.
Yeah, trust me, man. It's terrible in there. And I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I wouldn't wish prison on anybody. Trust me. So I want the kids to stay away from that.
What would you think your worst day in prison was like? Is this like just having to work against your will? You know, what are like, you know, some of the things that they would be facing?
Okay, I got sentenced to hard labor, but because I was an appellant, I didn't work. Because, you know, once you're appealing your case, it's like you're in purgatory. You're kind of a prisoner, but you're kind of not. So a lot of the rules don't apply to you in terms of you don't have to wear the uniform. You can wear your regular clothes. You don't get to work. You know what I mean? But my worst days in prison were the days when I didn't have visits. Like when I could see my girlfriend come to me and that was also a terrible day too, because it's fun when she comes, but it's sad when she leaves. It's bittersweet, as people would say. So, you know what I mean? Every time she goes away. Yeah, she's right there.
What was your reaction when you found out that it was official? Vybz is gone.
Even now I haven't processed it. Even now, I tell people this and they think I'm joking or I'm trying to be emotional. Even now, I haven't processed it. Sometimes I wake up. Sometimes I'm afraid to post because I think I'm in prison and I have to hide my phone. Like just crazy stuff like that. I wake up at 7 o'clock looking around if I'm going to get searched. Sometimes when I hear a key, I'm like, yo, because, you know, the officers, they shake the key in the morning when they're coming to check the muster. So I'm still going through a lot of that, man. Trust me, I'm grateful to be out, but I still haven't processed it in that way, man. And every day I have to pray to God I was in prison I prayed. I'm like, God, if you get me out of this place, I will never stop calling your name. I will never stop praising you. Trust me, man. So, but I'm still in that mindset and I'm working on it. It's
PTSD.
mental. Yeah, man, it's very mental. Mental damage, man, and mental health. Black people don't like to really talk about it, but it's a real thing. So I'm telling you.
What was like the biggest, mind-blowing difference?
That's easy. The infrastructure of the country, like roads, highways, that all that stuff wasn't there when I went in. And also the internet. The internet has changed dramatically. Now, I mean, as a matter of fact, when I was going in, there wasn't no internet, wasn't even a thing. It was just YouTube, Facebook, that's it. So those two things are the biggest differences I see when I got out. I'm like, yo, wow. Quickly, and I adapt. So, you know what I mean? Right now, in Jamaica, I have one of the biggest followings on TikTok. You know what I mean? And my Instagram is growing steadily. When I came out, it was 1.2. 1.1. 1.1. Now it's like 3 something or 2.8. So, and it's only been a month. So, you know what I mean? The progress is good, steady and good.
Songs being integrated into the TikTok culture, like you said, the internet wasn't around, but it's really combining generations of music fans.
I'm telling you, man, the kids, trust me, the kids. I to be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised by the love I get from like the teenagers, the 15-year-olds, the 16-year-olds. I mean, it's amazing, and it goes to show that once you do good music, it will last forever. I mean, Bob Marley died like 40 years ago, and that man is still legendary at #1 on the iTunes chart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have a joke that we as entertainers now, we have a joke that says, every time you go on iTunes, reggae charts, Bob Marley's at #1 looking at us like this. So he doesn't, trust me. So it's good that the kids are gravitating toward my music. It feels amazing.
How long did you wait when you got out of jail to hit the studio?
That's the thing. I haven't hit the studio. I hit the Kim, which is what we call the gym in Jamaica. You know what I mean? It's a personal joke between entertainers. We don't go to the gym, we go to Kim, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, watch it, wipe me, baby. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but yeah, so I've only been to the gym and I've been to just eating better. I don't eat a lot of red meat that I used to. I'm drinking roots in Jamaica. I'm sure you know what roots is. So even right now, I have a glass of roots drinking. I mean, it looks awful and it tastes awful, trust me. But it's good for me. So
Yeah,
that's what I'm feeding on right now.
What was your prison diet like? I mean, I can't imagine that you guys had a lot of healthy options.
I mean, no, but we could get anything. Well, I could get anything I wanted because
We're a boss.
exactly. But you know, and I was, trust me, I'm in terrible shape right now because actually I was overindulging in food in prison. It was my way. That was my escapism. You know what I mean? To just eat. When I came out, my belly was this big, like my lawyer's belly. And yeah, so now I'm working to get it off. So yeah.
What do you think of today's music? Doesn't seem like, dancehall is really on the forefront. It seems like Afrobeats maybe have taken over.
I mean, from time to time, I mean, dancehall music is shining. Then it has a time when it kind of dims a little. Then it goes back on high beam. So we understand that. And for me personally, I mean, Buju Banton made a statement the other day. Big up Buju Banton. He's my favorite DJ, by the way. And he's right about what he said about Afrobeats not being that that deep, that kind of revolutionary music. But then I think DJ Ems, I can't remember her name, or Thames, she explained that it was all escapism music, it's fun music, it's dancing music. So the point I'm trying to make is every genre has its space. Every genre has its space. So we can all coexist together. And dancehall music now is being run by the kids. So, I mean, I would give them some time to find themselves, to come into themselves, and then understand the difference between the local market and the international market. So I would definitely give them a few years. But there are a lot of promising stars in Jamaica. So, you know what I mean? I don't have anything bad to say because they're still growing.
You were still managing to release some music from prison, were you not?
That's all I could do. I didn't have any that gave me my motivation. You know, I figured out how to record. I did it on my phone with my mattress because they give you an old mattress. So I had to cut the covering off the mattress to make it flexible. It's crazy. Wrap it around my head and record and send it out. Get the studio engineers. So big up to Dunwell, big up to Red Boom. I even went gold actually from prison and
Yeah.
silver in the UK. Yeah. So big up my engineers, Red Boom and Dunwell. I'm an artist. Fundamentally, I have to do art. I have to record. I figured out how to do it because a lot of, at one point, all the songs, because I used to record a lot of songs before I got arrested. All those songs were released. So we didn't have anything in our archives. So I had to figure out a way to record. And trust me, I did, thank God. And it was amazing. At first, it was very tedious. It was very hard because I didn't figure out how to use the mattress. So a lot of the early songs, they sounded metallic and they sounded like you could hear the echo. You could hear the officers outside. So it was crazy. So we figured it out and yeah, the rest is history, as they say. So
That's lit. That's lit.
yeah,
How
man.
how how long do you think until you get back to performing and getting back to your regular self, or is it just a day-to-day situation?
Okay, I have a concert December 31st in Jamaica. That's the first concert. It's called Freedom Street. And that's what I'm working towards now, like getting fit, getting healthy. I'm not even focused on the studios yet because, like you said earlier, the songs are having a resurgence and they're all over TikTok. So I'm good on the social media space. I'm good in the dancehall, so I have time to work out and build that fitness, get my lungs back open like a giant. Then I'm hitting the studio. Hopefully before the concert, I can hit the studio and then start putting in the work. But I have a studio set up in my house anyway. My kids did it.
Yes, so this was a very good interview. Although I believe that Vybz Kartel could have elaborated a little bit more on his points and he could have been a little bit more informative, send out a more positive message to the youths. But nevertheless, I'm just going to recap some of the points that he made just in case some of them flew over your heads. He spoke about the physical condition of prison, and as we know, prison is not a nice place. I don't think in there have pretty flowers and pictures on walls, right? So you can just imagine what the aesthetics of inside there looks like, and I think that is enough to have a negative impact on anybody's mental capacity. He also spoke about loneliness, how it affected him when he had to see his loved one, in particular his girlfriend, leaves. He speaks about the mental trauma of not being able to process the sentence, even though he has spent almost 13 years and is now out. He still has not processed the ordeal that he went through when he heard that he was guilty and would be spending life in prison. He talks about how certain things are still triggers for him. For example, the jingling of the key. When he hears it, he still thinks that it is the warden coming in the morning to wake them up or to search the prison cell. He speaks about how life has moved on without him. For example, the internet, how it has evolved, and also the road infrastructure. He was totally taken aback with the changes that have happened over these 13 years. He is also in the process of trying to recover his health because while he was in prison, he said that he just ate. He ate in order to console himself, and that is one way that people use to deal with depression, eating. And so it was obvious, he said in his gait, how he came out with this big tummy and he joked about it looking like his lawyer's tummy and how it caused him to walk. So now he's drinking roots. I would like to think it's Baba roots. He's drinking roots and he's getting his worked out in so that he can get into shape to get back his former health or as close to it as possible, right? So he spoke also about the music. as it is today with the young ones. And what I like about him is that unlike many of the older artists, he's not bashing them. He more use the opportunity to encourage them and to encourage also the dancehall fans to give them time for them to grow into the music industry, for them to mature and to understand the difference between local and international music. What can I say? Whether you like Vybz Kartel or you hate Vybz Kartel, you can't take away from the fact that Vybz Kartel has a certain level of intelligence, and when he wants to be, he can be a positive influence on the youths. All right, so we are now going to move on to Lieutenant Stitchie, what is happening to him at the moment. So, according to Loop, Lieutenant Stitchie, one of Jamaica's most prolific dancehall artists, has suffered a severe brain hemorrhage that has left him unresponsive. His wife, Sophia Laing, has launched a GoFundMe page to raise 100,000 US dollars that will enable the family to host the Yuh Size artist in a long-term care facility where he can receive rehabilitative care. Launched 2 days ago, the funds has so far raised 1,420 US dollar of the amount. Your donation will make a difference by bringing hope to Lieutenant Stitchie and his family during this difficult time. Your generosity and prayers means the world to us. We are very grateful for your support to help cover the cost of his transfer, medical care, and living expenses in the long-term care home, said Laing. Every donation, no matter how small, will make a difference and bring hope to Cleve and his family during this difficult journey, she added. Stitchie, also known as the Governor, has been having health issues since at least 2023. He was assisted onto a stage last October and appeared to lose his bearings, which raised questions about his well-being. The artist norn Cleve Laing has been part of dancehall and later the gospel arena for more than 40 years. He recorded his first song in 1983. His break came back in 1987 when he recorded the album Yuh Size for King Jammy with the big single with the same name topping local charts. Stitchie also went on to record 3 albums for Atlantic Records and later recorded for producer Patrick Roberts on the Shocking Vibes label. Stitchie would later give up dancehall for gospel. Mrs. Laing, in encouraging those who contribute to the campaign to share the information with others. Your generosity and prayers mean the world to us, and we are deeply grateful for your support, she said. Loop News made efforts to reach Mrs. Laing but was unable to make contact. So thank you, Loop, for that news. So Dr. Love weighed in on the matter. He spoke about Lieutenant Stitchie, and not so much just him alone, but other entertainers who would have been in the music industry for over a period of time. He encouraged them to manage their monies well and to invest in property so that in their latter years they will have something to fall back on. And I agree wholeheartedly with Dr. Love, but I also want to point out that in Stitchie's era, there wasn't as much avenue as there is today for persons to make money. In fact, entertainers were robbed blind, and they mainly made their monies from appearing on stage shows, creating dub plates, and maybe singing at concerts and things like that. So there wasn't Spotify and YouTube and TikTok and all these other variables where they could have made their money. And so it's not that many of them have not tried, but a lot of them tried. And also, I do not believe there was much financial awareness going on at that time. They were more living the life, they were enjoying themselves, and a lot of them, in truth and in fact, had poor money management skills. Financial literacy wasn't a thing. And so you would have noticed that not just Lieutenant Stitchie, but many others would now turn up to be in wants and needs because of monies that were never invested wisely. So let us listen to Dr. Love and hear what he has to say.
Are in a conditional where they said that he need financial support for a medical procedure that he's going under. I heard that kind of news. I heard that he's in a coma. I don't know which one is true, but from sources that I know, I get some qualification that a lot of it is true and some of it is not true. So it goes back again to come around to let people understand something about music. And then let artists also be aware of this. Now, I ain't no spokesperson. I ain't the best person I read. I'm not a pastor, I'm not a deacon, I'm not a president. I am just speaking off of experience and also speaking off of what I know. Let me tell you something. Artists. I'm reaching out to artists and talking to artists, especially managers. Managers, I'm reaching out to managers. Managers that are managing artists. If you take up the responsibility to say that you're managing an artist, no, the artist may be stubborn and the artist don't want to listen or whatever it is, but as a manager, your duty and your job is to protect your artist, and your duty and your job is to make sure that your artist always be successful in life no matter what it is. Your duty and your job as a manager, that even if the artist is unruly, try to find a way, if you rate your artist and believe in your products, find a way to see if you can put a $20 away somewhere just in case of emergency. And as managers too, managers must do the right thing by the artist and do the right thing by themselves and do the right thing by music. Right? It doesn't make no sense you have an artist and an artist have #1 song after #1 song and there's nothing done, where their music is just all over the place and you cannot, under any circumstances, have any form of control or can say, okay, you did this or you did that or whatever it is. Having a lawyer as a manager, when you have a company, it is very important to have a lawyer that will represent you, will represent your brand and represent what you're about, and also protect you and protect your artists. Every artist is entitled to have a lawyer, and every artist is entitled to have their accountants, and every artist is entitled to have who they want to have around them. But it happens so much in our reggae industry where these artists make hits after hits that a lot of us that grew up on. And when you look into it, is that later on, if something happens, they don't even have the first dollar to assist yourself, whether it's a medical emergency or whether it's a situation where they reach up in a age and they need a little bit more. Remember this: no managers and no artist is gonna last forever. Means that death is promised to everyone, sickness is promised to everyone, and if we do not prepare for any of this or help others to prepare, then we're gonna have a problem like what we're having in our industry now, right? I can tell you this: artists make a lot of money. The money that artists make on a regular, the average person does not make that, not even a year. As a matter of fact, an artist can make enough money, can make up to 100,000, 50,000, 60,000, 300,000. It's all depend in 2 days. If they're a good artist and they have hits after hits, they could make thousands of dollars, money that some of you have never seen in your life, and it will take a lot for you to even see that money. No, it's for a manager and for an artist to take responsibility of his finance and also make the right decision. Once you're an artist and you're making thousands of dollars, the first thing you should do as an artist is make sure that you have an account secure, that you can put some money inside of it. Because remember this, being an artist or being a manager, you are your own boss, you're independent, and you are your own retirement. You have make a decision that you want to go on your own and do whatever it is necessary for you to do, right, to survive. So therefore, you must follow all the rules and follow everything of preparing yourself as a manager and as an artist. Therefore, if you're an artist and your manager give you money for your shows them, you should at least take at least from 5,000 and 10,000 and invest it into something that's gonna turn around. You may not cannot invest in a lot of things, but invest into something that later on, if worse come to worse and music goes down, you can turn around and say, all right, me have 5 houses, me can sell one to get me some bread. That means I can survive. If you take all your money as an artist and as a manager and spend it off on girl pitney and champagne and gold, I mean, if you buy gold and you buy it for investment and you go keep it, you know, so gold go up and gold go down and all that, that's an investment. It's like you're buying a house, right? Anything that you buy must can give you back the return 20 times or 10 times more than what you pay for it, right? Now, like I learned something from a young man yesterday. I went to the clothing store. He said anything he's buying, if he cannot buy 10 times and 10 times, he's not going to buy it. I mean, he cannot afford it, right? Now, going out as an artist and as a manager and encouraging your artists and pushing your artists to buy champagne, book expensive hotel, fly up and down in a first class, do all of these manners of things, is gonna hurt their pocket at some point if they do not put their money to use, if they do not make the right decision. If they do not do that, it's gonna becomes a problem. It will comes a problem later on, and artists must remember this. Once manager gone, manager not only leaving, if they're a good manager, they're leaving with something. And as a manager, you must make sure that your artists leave with something and set up your artists as a business and set up your artists that they can be independent. An artist don't supposed to leave from around you as a manager and they don't have any good thing to say about you, or you didn't set them up where they can say, all right, well, John bro make me buy a car. John bro make me buy a piece of land. John bro make me buy one bicycle. You should always leave your artist, or your artist should always leave you where both of you benefit from the business some form of way. And at the same time, as a manager, you don't take an artist's money and go buy one car or buy one house or buy a piece of land and you know buy the artist something. Your artist should benefit because your artists are the breadwinner. Right? And the fact that the artist is a breadwinner and all that, you have to make the right decision. When you look at a situation as for skip or go on. When you look at skip, you're financially alright. You don't have money problem. You have all percents. People may see and feel say you have sense. You have a lot of sense and all that. You got your shit together, and as we work together, we're learning from each other and we're improving from each other. So you're good. You understand? Yeah. When you don't take skip life a joke. Skip life a play a fool forgets why like you broke. He ain't broke people. Tell him to go like toes that. Beg my toes like you told her right now. Anyway. Now. There's nowhere that a person like you tell and Stitchie would make so much money in the industry. And it at a situation where they're looking for $100,000. $100,000 US. So you're telling me that the manager, the person that was in charge, the woman that was around, the wife, or nobody put anything as an investment that they could turn around? You are telling me that he don't have a house that they could take some equity out of it? You're telling me that he don't have a piece of land that you can take a loan against the land if it's possible? You're telling me, right, that none of this is in place? 100,000 is a lot of money, and to some it may be not a lot, but you're telling me that there's no family member, and I get to understand that he's married, right? He's still married same way. So, and I heard that he owned properties. That's what I heard. I don't know what truth it is. However, when if an artist is asking for $1 million, or if an artist is asking for 300,000, 500,000, I could understand. But if an artist is gonna ask for 20,000, 50,000, and 100,000 for example, then something went wrong along the road that you cannot tell me. Artists make a lot of money off a dub plate. A lot of money artists make off a dub plate. An artist can make $10,000-$20,000 on a weekend off a dub plate only, not even talking about shows. For an artist to make $10,000, that's, you could make $10,000 like in less than 20 minutes. Less than half an hour, you make 10,000. You could make $30,000 in one day.
So a lot of persons are bashing Dr. Love and saying that he should assist, and if he is not going to assist, then he shouldn't be talking about it. But that's just the nature of people. People don't like good advice. I don't hear anything wrong with what Dr. Love has to say. What I would like to take from this is that entertainers who are currently on the scene and are making money and talking about skating on the toll, use your money to invest wisely, so that what is happening to Stitchie at the moment will not happen to you, because it is said that a wise man learns from his mistakes, but an even wiser man learns from another man's mistakes. And with that, I'm just going to leave this right here. So thank you for listening, and if you reached this far, I'm going to encourage you, please, to subscribe to my videos so that it will reach a wider audience. Have yourselves a most wonderful and productive day. Thank you.